We recently did a Chinchilla 101. I love Chinchilla. Fert loves Chinchilla. We watched a video on that 101 for a song called Avoidance, which was a lyric video, but was still really clever. If you remember, it was the last one we watched. She was standing still and the camera moved in and then came back out. And it was like the video was like a breathing. It was like a heartbeat, right? And it was really clever, really neat how it was done, but very simple. Well, now there is an official video for Avoidance. Even if you don't remember that lyric video, the song was beautiful. So let's give it a go.
You sent me a message, just leave me alone. Now I'm shaking head to toe. I'd rather the silence, I don't wanna know. I know it's delusional, but I don't have the strength to let you go. It's not that I don't love you, in fact it's the opposite. I get anxious when you call. I'm so scared to message you in case you're with some lucky bitch, so I leave it all. You want closure, I avoid it, and it must be so annoying. I just can't imagine that you're gone. I'd rather avoidance than live in the know. I'm not trying to long it out.
Now we need to go back at some point and figure out the transition from the car to this fall, this leap off the precipice.
I hold on to items and hold on to hope, 'cause I can't bear to live without. As long as I don't contact you, then I don't pull you down. It's not that I don't love you, in fact it's the opposite. I get so anxious when you call. I'm so scared to message you in case you're with some lucky bitch, so I leave it all. You want closure, I avoid it, and it must be so annoying. I just can't imagine that you're gone. And I'm not trying to make it harder, I just never dealt with so much love, and I don't know what to do with it all, 'cause no one else will ever be enough to let you go. And it must be so annoying, I know. I just can't imagine that you're gone. So annoying, I know. It must be so annoying, I know. I know. I just can't imagine that you're gone.
I'm so torn with her. I'm so torn. The song, her voice is epic. It stands out. She, to me, is on the same level as Adele. She has this presence, this power, this strength to her. I have to agree with Sugar Cookie. It's like, I feel something very powerful when she's singing. It's not always about the words and the lyrics and the message. It's just her voice. She has such a strength to her. I love that. But where I get torn is, the one side of the coin is, I don't feel like her videos do her songs and mainly her voice justice. But the other side of that coin is, and this is part of why I feel torn, I think based on what we have learned about her, I think, and I could be wrong, the majority of the creative control sits in her hands. So what we potentially end up with her videos is that these are her choices. This is what she wants the video to be. And if that's the case, I can't really fault her. It's her song. It's her art. She has to do things her way. So that's where I'm torn, you know? To me, I get greedy and I want to see the same level of epic visually that I hear audibly. And I just don't see that. There's a piece here, but it's such, like, for example, we start off here and there was something really clever that was happening and I was like, ooh, this could be really deep. Notice the overall mood. Same song, obviously, that was playing from the lyric video when she was standing still, right? And it was like a frozen shot. The movement in the scene was just the camera going in, the camera coming out. Well, when this video starts, watch what happens. The camera is doing the same thing of moving in and then moving out, right? So that was like, okay, there's a tie in here. How is she going to tie it together with the lyric video? Maybe there's something there. Well, that's not how it turned out. Now, so let's kind of examine what we have. She's in the back of a car. Her clothes are shredded to a certain extent, so there's a lot of damage here. Now, we did go through the lyric video and the song really, really deeply. So we already kind of understand the general theme of this song, and Avoidance is a really easy way to just kind of package that up. So the clothes make sense. The mood makes sense. The rain makes sense. Even her basic just looking off into the distance, that 1,000-yard stare, it all comes into play. But when we end up with this transition into the fall,
but I don't have the strength to let you go. It's not.
And then for the next 3 minutes, essentially, she's falling. Now, while I can wrap this up articulately into what it means symbolically, I don't feel like it's enough. Like, yeah, I can say there's a moment of calm and reflection, you know, like, how did I get here? All the torn clothes, the damage, the war-torn mood of like, I just survived this experience with somebody else, and now I have to let you go. I have to avoid you. Or if I didn't get it, if I remember vaguely, I feel like it wasn't a relationship that ended, it was we didn't get the relationship, so now I have to keep you at a distance. I can't remember. But the point is, though, there was some type of like reciprocal relationship that was happening. And that may have been it, that it was a cycle, I think. But yeah, whether it's she's falling into her emotions, she's falling for the person, or it's just I'm always going to feel like I'm falling until it kills me. It makes sense. It feels not up to par with her voice. And again, I say that, and I'm being extremely vulnerable and honest when I tell you this. I say shit like that when I do this, as if I could do any better. I don't make music videos. What the hell do I know about making a music video? If she called me and was like, hey, first of all, tell the FERT what's up. Huh, Annie would die. But then she's like, hey, I heard what you said. Challenge accepted. I want you to do my next music video. First of all, I would shit my pants. Second of all, I'd be like, what the hell do I know about making music video? I don't know. Because then all the shit that I've talked for 3.5 years about, like, why did you do this? What were you thinking? People are going to be doing that to my stuff. I'm okay with that part of it, but stakes are high, man. You know what I mean? And with her, I struggle so much because, like, even if my visions are just my visions and don't make sense to anybody else, let's be honest. Why is that any different than what she's doing? This is her song. It's her art. So if she has full creative control, which I think she does, then what ends up as the final product is what she wants to be out there. So maybe I should just shut my mouth and let her do it. I'll give you a perfect example that's a little bit more close to home. I had a guy come into my office yesterday, a couple friends. Well, one friend, and he brought a guy with him. And I hadn't seen him in a while. Hey, man, what's up? How you been doing? Whatever. And the other guy saw my YouTube plaque on the wall. And he was like, oh, you do YouTube? I said, yeah. Well, what do you do? And I was like, first of all, of course, I get the streamed thoughts of like me as Sailor Moon, me in like the French maid outfit. I'm like, how do I describe this? Here's me shoving a pickle and a fruit roll up in my mouth. But I was like, I said, here's the deal. Basically, I'm a director. I break down music videos and I kind of explain how the cinematography was done, some of the symbolism. I try to break down some of the storytelling and make sense of it all. That's the gist. That's really all he needs to know. And he says, oh, that's cool. And he's like, so what does the plaque mean? I said, that means I got 100,000 subscribers. He was like, oh, so where are you now? I said, I don't know, I'm like 150 or something like that. And he was like, wow. He's like, well, maybe you could turn it into a full-time thing. And I was like, I don't know if I really want to do that. It's a lot. I said, but I'm kind of happy. He said, well, maybe you could hit 1 million. Maybe you could make 6 figures. And I said, well, to be honest, like I'm kind of happy where it's at right now. It's a side thing. I'm hanging out with like quality people every time I go live. It's pretty cool. I don't really know if I wanted it to be anything more. You know, I don't want to be able to go on a cruise ship and get recognized by everybody. And then I got to feel like I'm on the whole time. Ew, I don't want that. I don't want that. So yeah, I mean, while getting bigger and doing more things is cool, getting more subscribers is cool, I don't necessarily want the John Reeves experience. You know, John's great. He wants to be seen. He wants to make friends. He left the safety of the booth at the concert and went out into the jungle. Nope. I had Lulu beside me. I had Tanya beside me and I was safe. So I just don't want that, man. You know, I just don't. But to each their own. Anyway, the point being, like, I'm happy with where things are. I'm content. If Daisy is happy with these videos and when it's done, she's like, yep, that's what I want. I can't really fault her for that, you know? Sure, I would do things differently, but it's not my art. Now, why does that differ from all the other bands that I see? I don't know if it does, but here's how I justify it. I don't think that a lot of the other bands that we watch have the creative control that Daisy does. I get upset when I feel like artists are shoved into this one specific direction or style or genre or whatever, and it's not really what they want to be doing. It's just some dumb above them that says, well, this is what's going to make the most money. Now, while I understand that concept, it feels pandering sometimes. It feels insulting. I don't like that. You know, we had a wave of people recently that got upset with me because they said I didn't like girl groups. First of all, shut up. That doesn't even make any sense. But it's more like I feel like these younger groups that are coming up, it's not even just girl groups, these younger groups that are coming up, they're kind of being like molded into this cookie cutter and shot out into the masses, and they're just like fishing over and over again to see what hits. It's not quality, it's just here's another one, cookie. No. Give me some meat. Instead of making 10 groups, make one and let them make their choices. Let them do the music they want to do. Let them sing the words they want to sing. And if the market doesn't respond, it doesn't respond. But at least it's real. It's authentic. That's where my problems come from. There's so much stuff nowadays, it's just force-fed to us. And then it's like the companies are just trying to find out what's going to hit. They don't know. Just, let's try this. And the problem is the people that end up as kind of victim to this are the ones that are the group that have these dreams of success and music and art and making an impact. And that's not what is given to them. Exactly. It is the movie That Thing You Do with Tom Hanks. It is exactly that. Yep. And I know there's a place for it. I know there's a place for trends and fall. I get all that. I feel like in a world of uncertainty with what's real and what's not, there's a lot of us that are clamoring for something that we know is real. And we're just in this really strange transitional time where we're kind of force-fed everything, and we're forced to critically think through each and every friggin' decision to find out, like, is this real? You see a news story. Is this true? I shouldn't have to ask, is this true, when I'm presented the news? If I'm shown a music video, is this what she wants to be doing? Maybe that's the old man that I am, asking questions that really don't need to be asked, but that's just how I feel. When I listen to her, I feel like it's her. I feel like she's a real person singing real songs and putting herself out there. And I can't say that about a lot of artists that we watch. So when I say, I hope she gets what she's after. Whether that's right now or music or accolades or whatever it is, satisfaction, I hope she gets it. That's it. Daisy, please just leave a heart or something so my wife will know that I'm not a complete bozo on the internet. That's all I need. I don't need 1 million subscribers. I don't need to produce a music video. I just need Chinchilla to say hi in the comments. If it seems like I'm begging, I'm begging. I need my wife to know that I'm not a bozo.